burn so brightly. In the northeast sky they shine. From the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, that is my brand new intro. And big thank you to Junior Turner for allowing me to use his content as well. So big up to Junior on that one. And good evening, Pete. How are you?
Yes, I'm very well, thanks, Tony. And you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Do you like that intro, Pete?
Very good song as well, and a great interview with him the other day as well.
Yeah, what a fantastic guest he was. Absolutely brilliant. He wants to come back on again, which is absolutely brilliant. He's welcome to come on again. You know, there's probably lots more to talk about. I think we could have spoke all night if we could have, but yeah, absolutely fantastic guy. What he's been through and everything. I mean, to still be here and, you know, tell the tale, absolutely fantastic. And yeah, great guy is Junior Turner. Absolutely fantastic. If people haven't checked him out, go on his YouTube. He's got all his music on there. Give him a subscribe as well. I mean, absolutely fantastic. A local lad and a season ticket holder as well. So, yeah. So, we finally see the last game 64 of the World Cup, which is the final. And that was Argentina versus France. Argentina played well in that first half. France didn't even look anywhere near the team they were playing. I looked at that and I thought, France has been lucky getting to this final, I think, because, you know, had Harry Kane put that second penalty away, I think we could have gone on and beat France, if I'm honest, that night. But they got to the final, and then Argentina went 2-0 up. And you sort of thought the way France were at half-time, you thought, well, this is Argentina's game now, isn't it? You know, this is the World Cup. It's gone for France now. And then second half came. And again, France... They were playing okayish, but nothing special. But Argentina just seemed to walk around too casual in that second half, as if, we've won the trophy now, so it doesn't really matter. We'll just carry on and we'll just casually go through the second half and we've got it. And then the 80th minute come, they get a penalty through Nicolas Otamendi. I mean, what a stupid tackle in the box that was to pull down the player. Then Mbappe scores, of course. And then within 90 seconds, Mbappe gets the ball again after Messi loses the ball near the halfway line. And, you know, Mbappe puts it in the back of the net and you think, oh, God, 2-2, how's this happened, you know? And that's how it lasted. Extra time came. Then had to wait the second half of extra time, 10 minutes before the end of that game. And then Argentina got a goal. Messi was over the line. It was well over the line. And then again, they get another penalty. A stupid elbow comes out, handball. And again, Mbappe scores a hat-trick. First hat-trick in the World Cup final since Sir Geoff Hurst back in 1966. So records are there to be broken, and he's equalled it now, Mbappe. And went to penalties. Mbappe put his penalty away. Messi put his away. Then after that, France went woeful on penalties. I mean, you know, the guy who stood up and took his penalties had it saved by Martinez, the Villa keeper. Then Tchouameni, who scored the goal against us. You know, the controversial goal against us, as we can say. Missed his kick as well, went wide of the post. And France went out there and just lost it on penalties. And Mbappe wasn't looking so smug at the end of that game like he was against England when he laughed at Harry Kane missing his penalty. Well, Mr. Mbappe, calm as a bitch, and it's come back and it's bit you in the arse big time, mate. So, yeah, Pete, what's your thoughts on the game today?
It was a cracking final, wasn't it? I mean, you got to see Argentina were really in control for a lot of that game. But they thought it 2-0 up. That's when they thought, oh, this game's now over. But as soon as that team gets that one back, it's going to be squeaky bum time for the team, and that's what it was. And then Mbappe gets that equaliser, and you're thinking, wow, that's come out of nowhere after France were well played off the puck in the first half, really non-existent the way. And it takes until about towards the end of the game for them to come into life for some reason. But you give Mbappe the ball, and he gets an attempted goal. You know what he's like for putting them in, and that's what he did, particularly for the penalty and the second goal he scored as well. And Argentina go back in front for Messi again. And you thought, wow, is this if Argentina? But no, it wasn't. Another penalty for France. Again, silly handball. I don't know what he's doing. And then you're thinking, and then France are probably going to have to think, right, we've had to do it twice now. Come back twice to level the game. We'll kind of fluff ourselves in the penalties. And they've missed 2 penalties. And that's really haunted them. It really, really has, definitely. What I'm going to say about the second goal scored by Argentina was fantastic. The link-up play was brilliant. And I've got to say, Di Maria took that goal fantastically well because he's been in for a lot of criticism. He has, but he has been struggling with injuries, and he got that really well. Did well to win the penalty as well. I thought he was excellent today. Messi, well, you know what he's like now. Final World Cup, they've got the trophy.
Yeah, you'd think now that's it. He's time to hang up his boots now and say, right, I've done my bit for international now. I've won this. Go out on a high. I know some people are saying they hope he doesn't, but I think if you've won the World Cup, why do you want to play on and try and win something else? You're not going to win more than other Copa America, and does he want to really go and win that when they've already won that and now they've won the World Cup?
Yeah,
I think he might just say, do you know what? It's time to say, okay, international, go into retirement now on a high.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to do it. And let's see, but I suppose it will come out in a few days or whatever, how he decides his future. Not only has he won the World Cup, but he also won the Golden Ball as well. So, player of the tournament. Enzo Fernandez got young player of the tournament. I thought Bellingham would have been close to that, to be fair. And then, obviously, Mbappe got the Golden Boot and Martinez got Golden Glove. So, yeah, I mean, it remains to be seen if any of these players, like some McAllister, I thought McAllister had a great game for Argentina. I think he's had a good tournament.
He has.
And I think Brighton now are looking at a real player on their hands, yeah, because I think there's going to be a few clubs looking at him now. The price is going to be high, I think, for him, though. That's for sure. His stock's really risen in these last few weeks. What I do want to say now is, thank God the World Cup is now finished. Thank God we're getting back to club football. We just can't bloody wait because we've had enough of this now. I don't want to ever see a World Cup in the winter again because it's just absolutely ridiculous. And one thing I do want to say is when Messi went up to get the World Cup trophy, what on earth was this putting this little shirt thing on him just for lifting the... I mean, even Messi I don't think was too keen about having that put on him, but I don't know what was all that about.
It's a funny...
Pete.
I don't know what it was about. I'm thinking, what on earth? It's a funny one, wasn't it? Messi's like, what the hell's going on here?
I mean, I bet Infantino's pleased it was Argentina and not England in that final, because if we'd been in that final and won it, he would have hated handing that trophy over to us, wouldn't he?
Oh, he would have, easily, yes.
And talking about England, Pete, obviously it broke last night that Southgate was going to stay, and then obviously the FA confirmed it this morning. I mean, let's look at it. Yes, okay, he's had good tournament records, Gareth Southgate. He's not done too bad in tournaments, but he's not done well enough. We should have been further than we have. I mean, we should have got further in this World Cup. We should have beat France. They were there for the taking. But we didn't do it. We didn't beat Italy in that final, and we didn't beat Croatia 4 years ago in the semi-final. I mean, he's now got a shot at getting us to Euro 24 and trying to win that. I mean, if he wins that, fair play to him. We'll all say, well done. If he doesn't win it, then the FA, as long as the FA, them take it to the Euro 2024 finals, and wherever we end up going out or whatever, the FA do not give him a single minute of a contract on top of that, because if they give him any more contract on top, then I'm sorry, this guy ain't going anywhere. So the FA need to now leave it, let his contract run until the end of 2024, the Euros, and then see where they go from there. I mean, Pete, what do you think about that, Southgate staying on?
I mean, I can't see us winning Euro 2024, unfortunately, if he's remaining in charge. But I can kind of understand that after that tournament, his contract will be finished. So if we don't win that, or we come up short again, or we have a shocking tournament, I think that'll be him relieved after that then. So final tournament, and that's it. I can understand why. But I can't see us winning Euro 2024 with him in charge.
I mean, he'll have to look at himself after this tournament. I think what he needs to do is sit down and think, right, hang on. Look at what he's done in this tournament and say, right, I think the best thing he can do, Southgate, is now think, right, going forward, he needs to start picking the players who are playing on form and for their clubs. Not players who don't hardly play or are injured, like Sir Calvin Phillips, who came into that tournament with an injury. The likes of Harry Maguire, who doesn't get a shot for his club. Fair enough, he's a great player. He's a good centre-half for England. Let's not get away from that, he is. But he very rarely plays for his club. Luke Shaw doesn't really play a lot, and he's not really a great left-back. I think he needs to start having a look around to see what he needs to do, because we've got a great talented players there, and if he utilises our talented players properly, we could win things. We could go out there and smash and win trophies. And he's got to be brave and stop putting the handbrake on and start taking the handbrake off and letting players play with freedom, because if he doesn't, then we're going to go nowhere under Southgate, and then that means the next tournament's going to be a waste of time. So I think he's going to have to change the way he plays. And not only that, a lot of our players are Premier League players, and our Premier League is very intense. So why aren't we going into these tournaments in the same intensity as they do in the Premier League?
I mean, is it the way Southgate's setting the team up? Is that his tactics? You just wonder, do you? Because the types that don't use these players, like they have been playing for the clubs, but I'm sorry, Harry Kane had a stinker World Cup for me. I thought he was awful in the tournament. You're right with Maguire, Shaw as well. Maddison didn't even get any minutes in the World Cup. Why didn't he look to play him, who's been absolutely brilliant for Leicester City? Doesn't play him. Wilson got little minutes. Trippier did at times. And he needs to cut out this favoritism now, because the more he does it, we'll just come up short again.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. I mean, he needs to really have a long, hard think at what he's doing now and how he wants to get this team. If he seriously wants to take this team to go win a trophy, then he's now got to start playing better and more attacking football. If he's watched us a few times a season, so why don't he? And there was times in that World Cup we were doing press, and I thought, oh, he's been watching Eddie Howe. And I mean, when you watch Wilson come on for England, the first thing Wilson was doing was pressing their players straight away, because that's the mode he's on, because he's in the Eddie Howe mode. He's not in the Gareth Southgate mode, he's in the Eddie Howe mode. That's how he plays for his club, and that's how he's going to play at international level. And he done one assist for Jack Grealish, didn't he, at the World Cup? But he should have had more minutes. And going back that second penalty, I don't think Kane should have took it. If Kane didn't feel like taking it, somebody else should have taken that penalty. He should have said, look, somebody else take that, And who on that pitch would have took it, I don't know.
Exactly. And I think Southgate should have went, after Kane missed that, right, I either need to bring Kane off, or I need to bring someone on to help him out, i.e. Callum Wilson could have put him on, played two up top, or took Kane off and put Wilson up front and see what can happen there. because Kane was. I know he scored the penalty, but he was poor. I'm sick of why is he dropping back so deep every time now? That's not what a striker should be doing. Wilson doesn't do that. He's up there waiting for a ball to come in to get on the end of it.
Yeah.
That's what Wilson relies on. And it must be frustrating for like the fullbacks and the wingers to get crosses in because Kane's not there to get on the end of it. And then that's the link-up play is gone now.
Yeah, I mean, Trippier played 2 games. Played against Iran, the USA. Then he came on as a sub, I think, against Wales, didn't he? Left back, but other than that, he didn't have many minutes. And
could have brought him on and took Shaw off because I thought Shaw did sod all for me against France. All he did was turn backwards a lot of the time, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I understood his decision to keep Kyle Walker in. And I think he'd matched Mbappe quite well. And Mbappe didn't really get much of a sniff, did he?
No.
And Mbappe, that's how Mbappe had such a quiet game against England because when he did have that shot, he put it well over the crossbar. So we did well to keep him quiet. I'll just dip into some comments. Chip as is in. Hi, Sam. All right, mate? What a final that was. Yeah, brilliant final, wasn't it?
Oh.
Paul says, so happy for Messi. I said all tournament that this was Messi's tournament. Yeah, you did, mate. Yeah, absolutely. He's done very, very well. Sefton's in the house. Hi, Tony and Pete, the YouTube legends. Good evening, chat. And yes, back to normality, starting how we finished on a winning formula. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get into Newcastle in a moment. And Paul says, Southgate picks too many players that don't play for their club. Example, Phillips injured all season. His spot could have been given to Ivan Toney. Southgate favours top 6 players too much. Yeah, I think the thing with Ivan Toney, though, because there's this FA ruling into his betting or whatever, maybe that put the cat amongst the pigeons and he couldn't play, maybe. So, yeah, we're not sure about that one. But there again, if you took Ivan Toney, would you have got on? That's the thing. Would you have played? I doubt it very much.
Probably not. I don't know. Because Southgate at times doesn't have the balls to drop players when they're playing poorly, i.e. Harry Kane. Because the majority of the tournament, he was terrible.
Yeah. If you watch Brazil, they used the whole 26 players.
Every player in that side.
I mean, when they beat South Korea, they even took Alisson off and put Weverton on the goalkeeper just to say, go and have 10 minutes, mate. There you go. Go and have 10 minutes and goal. Even though Alisson didn't look very happy at coming off, but, you know, it's one of those, isn't it? But, I mean, yeah. But now the World Cup's finished. It's come to a close. It's like, thank God. And thank God we're back to normal football from Tuesday. Normal service will be resumed. I mean, Pete, yesterday, I mean, friendlies are not all about winning. They're all about getting your fitness, getting your match fitness back up. We beat, in Saudi Arabia last week, we beat Al Hilal 5-0 against a good side mind in Saudi Arabia, Al Hilal. I mean, they've got some decent players in that squad, you know. They've got like N'Golo up front. I mean, he's not a bad forward, and they've got some other good players in there. So to beat a team of that calibre, we did well to beat them 5-0. Because they had chances as well. And then, obviously, yesterday we played Rayo Vallecano at St James's Park, 12:30 kickoff, and obviously you went as well, Pete. I mean, not probably the greatest game. I thought Vallecano, they had chances to score, and they were absolutely fluffed them in front of goal. I mean, they were woeful in front of goal. I mean, what was your thoughts on yesterday's game? I mean, Longstaff scored, of course, and Chris Wood showed Harry Kane how to score from the penalty spot. And what a penalty that was, because that was put away with a plum. What was your thoughts yesterday, Pete?
Yeah, not the greatest. I mean, but we did go into that game. We didn't have Joe Linton. We didn't have Miggy. We didn't have Wilson as well. We didn't have Bruno as well. The same with Fabian Schär as well. But a lot of times it did become quite a bit sluggish. But I thought Rayo Vallecano weren't great at all, I've got to admit. They really, really weren't. I'll give credit for their fans They didn't bring many fans, but I thought they kept going throughout the full of the game, I thought. So I'll give really good credit to their fan base for traveling all the way from Spain. And their fan base sung on stopping the game. But yeah, Longstaff, you like to know what he's been eating for breakfast now, because I think he's really improved his game now, Sean Longstaff. That is the Longstaff you've seen under Rafa. Great first goal, roof of the net, which was absolutely fantastic as well. Glad to see now a local lad really up in his game now and playing like how we should be playing, is what a midfielder does as well. The penalty, yes, Chris Wood showed Harry Kane how it was done, because that's what Chris Wood's known to do as well. He's really good at taking penalties, and he buried that one as well. Some players did all right. I thought Maxi at times wasn't too bad. I'm getting a bit sick of them going down far too many times now. I've got to admit. That's the annoying bit. I've got to admit. Jacob Murphy did not too bad, but he's not going to be that one that's going to take us to win us a trophy or get us into Europe, etc. As well. So Lascelles, not too bad at times, but he could have nearly came up his back past the Pope. Whoa. Imagine if we conceded from that. But we didn't. I know Target was the one who put the ball into his own net. But yeah, we could tell it wasn't our, not the greatest, but it wasn't normally our starting 11. But again, it's just to get the fitness back and some minutes into the players as well. Because Tuesday is when it all restarts again, for us to get down to business again.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people put out there that they weren't too impressed with ESM yesterday. I think in January, if I'm honest, and I've been saying this for quite a long while now, I think we need to bring a top quality left winger in, or a quality left winger, someone who's maybe a bit better than what ESM is, and it needs somebody to push ESM just to say to him, look, you've got a top quality replacement on the bench. You don't keep a hold of that shirt, then he's in and you're out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he needs: competition, serious competition like that. It could happen, but it all depends who we bring in. And I mean, it'll just be a case of watch your space. It's not long now till the window opens up, about less than 3 weeks, I think, isn't it? So it's not that far away. In fact, no, it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks today, isn't it? The window opens, because it's a New Year's Day in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, it's only 2 weeks till the window opens.
Yes,
but,
it is.
So it's not far away now. But as I say, it's only a friendly yesterday, and yes, we won it. I mean, you look at Vallecano and you think, how are they sitting 8th in La Liga? But obviously they must be doing something right in Spain. I mean, Falcao came on, who used to, I think, play for Chelsea as well, didn't he?
Yep.
Radamel Falcao. And
Man United as well. Did he play for Man United?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
He only had one header and it went well off target.
Yeah. I mean, did Lejeune get a nice reception when he came on?
I give him a nice reception, because I liked Lejeune when he was at Newcastle. I thought he did very well as a centre-back as well. Just shame he got Bruce because of the Rafa. He was absolutely solid as anything as well, whether he was playing in a 3 or in a 2. I like Lejeune. Shame he did become pretty much made of glass later on in his career at Newcastle, but I'm glad I gave him a good reception, because I liked Lejeune when he was at Newcastle.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought he was a good defender, but like you see, his injury record wasn't too great, was it? So, I mean, we'll all remember them 2 late goals against Everton when we were 2-0 down, and he scored 2 goals in injury time to level that game and get us a point. But yeah, I mean, as I've said all along, friendlies are not about the results. It's about the fitness of the players, and the players look quite sharp again, and it looks like we haven't missed it. You know what I mean? So you'd think we'd carried on playing through this World Cup, but that's just the job Eddie Howe's done. You know, that's the fantastic job he's done. So let's hope Tuesday. I don't know who will start on Tuesday. I mean, there's quite a few different players who could start on Tuesday. I mean, do you think Karius is starting in goal on Tuesday because Pope played yesterday? I mean, were you surprised to see Pope and Trippier starting yesterday?
I actually was very surprised they came in yesterday. I've got to admit so, but it raises the question, doesn't it? Karius could come in. I thought he was really good in the friendly game over in Saudi Arabia. But again, Eddie Howe may want to use Pope because saved us in penalty shootout as well against Crystal Palace. So you've got to look at that. Trippier, it's a possibility as well because fact is, it's only 6 days until our game against Leicester away. So it's only a 6-day wait. So it wouldn't surprise me if we did go into that game on Tuesday with what majority of our starting 11 has been.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, you like to think the likes of Joe Linton will come in because he was rested yesterday. Almiron was rested, wasn't he, as well? So, and Callum Wilson, I mean, I know they said Callum Wilson had a slight knock at the World Cup, but he seemed all right, didn't he? But I'm hoping he's fine. I mean, Cher, they reckon, I don't know how he is. I mean, he had a bit of illness when he was over in Qatar because when Switzerland played Portugal, there was him and I think there was a couple of others. Maybe Shaka might have been the other one as well, and Shaqiri, I think. But they were carrying illnesses because they were having breathing problems because of the air conditioning in the stadiums over there. But the manager still played them in that game against Portugal, and obviously they lost 6-1. I just hope they're all right, but I think they will be by now. But I mean, I suppose it's something surreal having like air-conditioned stadiums, isn't it? Air conditioning blown to the pitch, and you know it's artificial air, isn't it? So it's going to make you a bit unwell, isn't it? But
well, yeah, it is, isn't it?
I mean, it wasn't only Switzerland who were down with it. I think there was a few players from different teams who were down with it as well. So not really that great, is it? But it'll be interesting to see what team gets put out on Tuesday. But he'll put out a team out there that he wants to go out there and win that. He wants to win that tie. Don't be surprised if Bournemouth don't play a full-strength team because their bread and butter is staying in the Premier League over a cup, I think.
Yes. So,
and now they've had their takeover as well.
I'm sorry, but there's a comment from I Like Coffee in there.
That's the Martinez did a Simeone with his trophy.
Nope, not that one.
Should see Klopp's pearly whites all over the stands when they dim for the lights for the ceremony. Yes. Brilliant. I'm just going to get into some comments before I come to you, Pete. Chipper says, don't really want Argentina to win with their Falklands chanting, etc. If England did it, we would have been done, but the better side won on the day. Yeah, absolutely. Sefton says, unfortunately, I'll be work Tuesday. It should be straightforward. Are we nervous with a full house or war flags? No. Well, we say it should be straightforward. We thought it might have been against Palace, but that weren't straightforward, was it? So, Darren, hi Darren, hope you're well, mate. He says, not a great match. Penalty can always be missed by anyone. Just because Harry Kane missed one, that friendly match, not under pressure. ESM is probably rubbish. Sell him as soon as possible.
I'm just getting annoyed with him getting beat off the ball far too easily and going down asking for a free kick when it's never a free kick.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, yeah, that's the embarrassing part about how easy he goes down. I mean, if somebody come in January and said, I'll give you £50 million for ESM, and we had a quality replacement, say for instance, we could get Gakpo but sell ESM for 50 million. Do you know what I'd say? Do it.
Yeah, I would. Because we know you would use that money and get another player in who could be just as good as ESM or even better than ESM.
Yeah. Cody Gakpo, he's a great player.
He's good, as well.
We could rival Man U for him. Paul says, I watched the away fans more than the match. The friendly weren't great to watch, but we got the job done. Yeah, there was about 30 fans turned up from Vallecano, but you know what? Fair play to them. Fair play to them.
For the non-stop throughout the game, so massive credit to them.
I Like Coffee. Hi, Tony PD and all. Hi, I Like Coffee. He says, ESM's Instagram posts are hot. And he says, I like Martinez. Did a Simeone with his goalkeeper trophy. Yeah, I saw that. Did you, Pete?
I did, actually.
Yeah. He got clapped, and the second he touched the ball, he got booed, talking about Lejeune. Yeah. Paul says, I'd go all out for McAllister. Yeah, I think there's going to be a few teams in for him, I think, but it depends how much Brighton want for him. And that, if they're wanting 70 million for Caicedo, then I can see it being probably a lot more for McAllister, if I'm honest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I think he's got Scottish roots. I think his dad's Scottish and his mum's Argentinian. So I'm not sure how it is, but that's why he calls himself McAllister, because of the Scottish connection. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But what a great tournament he's had in there. He's going to be very sought after. I mean, we'll find out in January who exactly we're going to go all out for. I mean, we saw Marcus Thuram today. Come on, I mean, we've been linked with him. I mean, he didn't do too bad. Apart from he got booked for diving as well, didn't he?
God, he did, yeah.
And, I mean, he's out of contract in the summer. You could maybe go in and nick him in January for a cheap fee. He can play left wing as well. So he could maybe put pressure on ESM. I mean, what did you make of Marcus Thuram today?
Yeah, he wasn't too bad. But didn't go down like that, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah, not in the Premier League anyway.
No.
Get Messi to the tune, says I like coffee, so he can add Premier League trophy to his collection. Yeah. Who's McAllister according to the commentator? It's McAllister. Hi, Chaz. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's good. I mean, I definitely want us to get Maddison in January. I'd love to get him in January.
Mm-hmm.
In some ways, that's why I'm glad he hasn't played in the World Cup, because we haven't seen him. We haven't seen the best of him in the World Cup, so that wee stock can't rise any more than it is now. So Leicester can't shove the price up. But yeah, I mean, he would be a great addition, Maddison. Yeah. As I say, we need to bring a left winger in who can rival ESM and say to him, right, you either play or you don't get in. This top quality left winger takes your place for every game. And you only get in when he's like injured or whatever, or suspended. I mean, would you still bring Diaby in as well?
Yeah, I would. I think I would still, definitely. Because say if Miggy gets injured, the only option there is Jacob Murphy, in a way. I know he's improved, Jacob Murphy, but we're still not convinced that's the problem. So,
no, I mean, he had a shot yesterday, didn't he? He snatched that and it went over the bar, didn't it?
Yeah.
He doesn't fill me with confidence, and Jacob Murphy's not the player to take it to that next level at all. No, him or Fraser.
No.
I mean, Trippier went down with an injury yesterday as well. I was thinking, oh no, God, I hope not. And then you saw the physio rubbing his groin and that, and you thought, oh no, here we go, it's got a groin strain. Then he got up, walked off the pitch, sort of sport anyhow, walked up the touchline, and then came back on him. I was like, hang on a minute, he must be all right. And then he started running about, and I thought, oh, he's fine. And then, Sefton in our WhatsApp group, he said, some was seen on there, get him off, Eddie. And he kept him on till 83 minutes and then replaced him with Lewis Smiley. But he seemed all right. He seemed to run it off. So maybe it wasn't as bad as it was first thought.
Yep. No, which is good, because then I think Eddie Howe did the right thing and thought, right, let's keep him for Tuesday. Definitely, because we'll probably need him. Definitely going to need him for Tuesday, definitely.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. Totally agree with you on that one as well. So, guys, if you like what you see, please hit the like button. It really does help the channel up the search settings. So smash those likes, please. And also, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And I'm 18 away from 200. If I got that by the end of this year, that would be fantastic. It's only 2 weeks away, so if I did, that would be great. Also, hitting the bell button notifies you when I've got a pre-recorded video on, or a live video like we are now, or any upcoming shows. So thank you for that, guys. I mean, Botman had a great... I thought Botman did well yesterday. I mean, he was pinging the ball about as well. It doesn't look like he's been affected by the World Cup break either.
No, it doesn't, does he? Just shows why we got this lad in and just what a rock he's been at the back for us, definitely. And yeah, look the way he's really improved our defence as well.
Yeah, he's been absolutely brilliant as Sven Botman. There must be other Premier League clubs looking at us now and thinking, oh God, why the hell didn't we sign him? Well, that's called tough luck. You should have got him before us then. Paul says, I think Longstaff and Willock go under the radar because of players like Bruno and Cole, but I think Longstaff and Willock are the engine in the midfield and they get all over. They do. And I mean, not only that, not only do they get all over the pitch, but I thought Willock had a terrific game yesterday. He was everywhere, wasn't he?
He did put himself about him.
But I think it all matters when it comes to the proper games, like your Carabao Cup games, your league games, your Premier League games, your FA Cup games. And it's all going to look good, isn't it? I mean, let's see how we do on Tuesday. I hope there's some televised coverage somewhere on Tuesday. I've had people saying there's already abroad. All I would say is if you want to look for any TV coverage abroad on this game, head to nufc.com and have a look when they put their preview on. And sometimes they'll tell you UK TV and overseas TV, and it'll tell you if it's on there or not. Mm-hmm. But I would like to think it's probably on abroad somewhere this time round, because the last time the Crystal Palace game wasn't, and thankfully Sky Sports News showed the penalty shootout live, which was absolutely fantastic. But let's hope it doesn't go the distance this time and we do it in 90 minutes. LA Coffee says, almost 6 days to Christmas, 18 subs to go. Thanks very much, LA Coffee. Yeah, that would be even fantastic, wouldn't it? Yeah. Mason says, have you seen West Ham have signed a young Brazilian centre-back called Luzau from Sao Paulo? I haven't seen that one, Mason, no.
No,
I know we're still keen on that Ashby, aren't we, from West Ham as well. So watch, and he's out of contract at the end of the season, as far as I know. LA Coffee, I'd love to see Isak back in the side. We only got to see bits of him, and he was fantastic. Yeah, I think they've said he's not going to feature before Boxing Day. That's according to local media. I mean, a lot of people were critical yesterday on the commentary because it was Matthew Braceback and from Radio Newcastle and John Anderson. People said John Anderson's commentary was terrible yesterday. I mean, to be fair, John Anderson, he's a legend at Newcastle. Great left back he was, fantastic left back. And he's always done well on Radio Newcastle. But, people can have off days, and maybe he was just having an off day yesterday, But yeah, let's cut the guy a bit of slack though. He's a good guy. Chipper says, I thought Sky had our game. Yeah, there was rumours that Sky had our game, but I don't think they have. And because I think Wednesday they're showing Man United and Burnley, I think. And then I think Thursday is the Man City-Liverpool game. So again, another one of the big six are going to go out this competition.
Yep.
And I bet they'll both be playing full-strength teams as well.
Oh, possibly.
So that'll be interesting. I mean, if we get through, let's get another home tie.
That would be great.
Yeah. I mean, how do you think we'll fare against Leicester? Do you think we'll be back into the swing of things and just going at them like we did against Chelsea? Or do you think this is going to take a few weeks to get back to it?
Hopefully we've still got the momentum from where we left before the World Cup started, which would be good. Why can't say we carry that still with us? I mean, again, we've won pre-season, home and away as well. So why can't we? And that if we win against Bournemouth, it's just going to give us a boost for Boxing Day as well.
Yeah, and then 5 days later we've got Leeds United, haven't we, at home?
Yep.
So I'm glad in a way that we all lost in the quarterfinals, because it meant we had all our players back. I mean, I know we had Shaw back after the second round, But then the quarterfinals on that Friday, Bruno was back on the Saturday because a lot of the Brazilians got off at London on Saturday because a lot of them are in Europe anyway. Likes of Bruno, Vinny Jr. and all them. And the rest of them stayed on the plane and went back to Rio. But, then obviously on the Sunday, Kane, Wilson, Pope came back. Obviously stayed at St. George's Park overnight and then came back Monday. I mean, we had our players back early, which is a good thing. I mean, can you imagine had England got to this final? Would we have had them players back for Boxing Day? That's the thing. And it's
Probably not, no, and Tuesday as well.
Yeah, so in some ways, I was glad England got knocked out when they did. And I know some people may think, oh, well, that's a bit bad seeing you're glad about that, because I'm being selfish because I'm thinking of our club rather than country at the time. Because this World Cup should never have been played in November.
It shouldn't have been, no.
And it's not just our league that's been stopped, it's every other league that's been stopped midway through. And, teams have got momentum, just want to carry on playing. And Mason says, can you imagine if Man United get knocked out and we get Burnley?
Oh.
Now, that would be funny. And do you know what, though, Mason? You say that, but Man U could get knocked out by Burnley because if you look who the manager is for Burnley, Vincent Kompany, ex-Man City captain, he'll want to get one over on Man United when he did for City. So, it's not impossible that Burnley go there and knock Man United out. I mean, it could happen, couldn't it, Pete?
You could, yeah. Man U are just... They're very hit-y-missy now, aren't they?
Well, look at Dubravka, left 4 goals in against Cadiz.
Well, yeah, he did, didn't he?
I know they put out a young side in the second half, Man United, to be fair.
Yeah.
I like Coffee says, Burnley are a bogey team for Man United, right? I think they are, yeah. Foxy. Foxy's in the house. Hi, Foxy. He says, congrats to Argentina and the GOAT, Messi. France being average all tournament. Wouldn't be anywhere near the final without Mbappe. Yeah, I thought they were lucky to even get the final, to be fair.
Same as well. Same with Giroud as well. I think those two have carried France all the way to the final. And I think it was a bit strange why Giroud came off early. Was it an injury or was it a tactical change?
They said he had some sort of injury, but I'm not sure. I mean, because there was 2 of them came off, wasn't there?
It was the other one was Dembele.
Yeah, Dembele. He looked poor today, didn't he?
He wasn't that good, was he?
And we were linked with him as well. I'm glad we haven't got him, to be fair. I know he's a good player, but he's too injury prone as well. Another one that's made of glass.
Yeah.
Sefton says, if we play like we did, remember the Great Escape. I'm just saying.
The fact is, as well, if we win against Leicester on Boxing Day as well, we go second because Man City don't play till a couple of days later.
Yeah. I mean, some of these teams might be well before they get back into that stride. I mean, you've got the Argentinian players tonight, likes of McAllister.
Yeah, Alvarez.
Julian Alvarez and Martinez. Villa, Man City and Brighton, respectively. Are they going to be playing for their club straight away? I doubt it very much because they're going to probably get a week or 2 off now, aren't they?
Could well do.
Because they've had a long tournament and... they'll probably not leave there till tomorrow. So by the time they get back to, if they're not going over to Buenos Aires first to go and do a victory parade or whatever over there. Mm-hmm. So those teams might be severely weakened for the start of the Premier League again. But I don't want to ever see a World Cup in November again. And I like Coffee. So I think Giroud was subbed off because of the illness. Yeah, they didn't look up to it today. France did they?
The one he took, I mean, it's just strange, but why up towards the end of the game they started turning up and 2 goals came out of nowhere? It's a funny sport now, football in a way. But I thought Argentina pretty much controlled the game, particularly in the first half.
Yeah, definitely, Pete. Definitely. I mean, Argentina had that game won, but the problem was they just took their foot off the gas in the second half.
If maybe
they got too comfortable.
That's it. If they maybe got the 3rd goal and were 3-0 up, then they could have done it then. But
Yeah. I mean, Foxy makes a point here as well. He says, I would have feared for Otamendi's safety if Argentina lost our finalist fall for giving France a route back into the game. I mean, yeah, I mean, he did. I mean, that was a stupid challenge. Why he done that in the box? It's beyond me. I mean, it's just, it was just crazy.
Yep.
It's, yeah. I mean, it goes back to 1994. Andres Escobar for Colombia. I don't know if you remember it, Pete, but he scored an own goal for Colombia in the World Cup against the USA, I think it was. And obviously they went out the World Cup because of that own goal. And when they got back to Bogota, as he was coming down the aeroplane steps, he was assassinated. He was shot and taken out by somebody on the roof, the sniper. A 27-year-old, he was killed because he scored an own goal in the World Cup. I mean, Colombia, we know it's one of those countries, and we know what happens in those type of countries. Maybe there was big gangs had big bets on or something like that. We don't know. But yeah, he was assassinated coming down the steps of the aeroplane, taken out, just because he scores an own goal. Absolutely disgusting, isn't it? It's just ridiculous. But that's the way they are over there, aren't they? And some of these countries. But yeah, very sad day. We all remember that. Gary says, hi Gary, says, the fact that Southgate is staying as England is great news for Newcastle fans, lads, as the FA will not knock on Eddie's door. I said this last week, Gary, and I said I was 100% confident last week. I said, when Southgate's considering his future, I said, there is no way he's going to manage England, Eddie Howe. You ruled it out in September.
You said no.
And I believe Eddie Howe is a man of his word. And what Eddie Howe said back in September was, he says, one, let's give Gareth some respect. He's still in the England job at the time. Two, he says, I enjoy the day-to-day running of the club, coming into training every day. He says, I've got no thoughts for England whatsoever. He says, I want to win stuff here. I want to win trophies here. He says, the England job, you don't do day-to-day training every day. It's once every 6 months or whenever the games come up. He says, maybe down the line and a lot down the future, but as for the near future and for the foreseeable future, I'm staying where I am in club football. And I've always said he'll never go. Argentina lucky with a penalty, in my opinion.
I thought it was a penalty for me.
It was soft though, wasn't it, to be fair?
It was a bit. I think he just clipped the back of his heel a little bit as well.
Yeah, the referee bought it, didn't he? Paul says, I bet Ronaldo saw that Messi's won the World Cup. I mean, yeah. I mean, Pete, what was your thoughts when Morocco knocked out Portugal, first of all? But it wasn't just the fact they knocked out Portugal. When their players were on the pitch, the Portuguese players, like Bruno Fernandes and that, all sitting there crying their eyes out and not happy that they were out the World Cup. And instead of Ronaldo going round to go and see the fans and thank the fans for coming to Qatar to support them and support his team, he goes down the bloody tunnel and cries his eyes out. I mean, that says it all about how selfish that guy really is.
Well, like I say, look, for me, Morocco deserved the win. For starters, and Ronaldo's just been a sore loser. He's probably thinking, oh, well, my international career is pretty much over and done with. My club career's all in jeopardy as well. I just don't want to know now at this moment of time. Who was going to want to touch anyone who was going to want to touch him now?
Well, there is talks of Saudi Arabia, isn't there, for $2 million a year or something? I mean, the guy's just in it. He just wants one big last payday. I mean, he should just hang his boots up and say, do you know what? I've had a great career. I've won a lot of things, a lot of trophies. I've won Euro twice with Portugal or whatever. I think it's time I just hung my boots up and said, thank you very much. See you later. But obviously he doesn't want to. He wants to try and get one last hurrah if he can.
Well, that's it.
Sefton says, "Did you notice the empty seats in the stadium? Shocking! It should never have been played in Qatar. I mean, it was a sellout today of 88,000, but yeah, in the tournament there's been empty seats, hasn't it? It's been absolutely ridiculous. Not a great tournament."
Yep.
I like coffee. The spotlight may have been on Messi in Argentina, but Mbappe scoring a hat-trick, his second World Cup final as a 24-year-old's amazing. Yeah, I mentioned this at the start of the show. It's the first time we've seen a hat-trick in a final of the World Cup since 1966 by Sir Geoff Hurst. So he'd been the only guy who'd scored a hat-trick until Mbappe has now equalled him.
Yep.
And how long will we see that one again? We do not know. But Mbappe could still have at least another 2 or 3 World Cups in him because he's 23, so his next one would be 27, then he'd be 31, then he would be technically 35. Depends. Alan says, "Great news that Southgate is staying." Well, yeah. I was never worried even if he went about Eddie Howe, to be honest, guys. I just thought if Eddie Howe goes, if Southgate goes, Eddie Howe will stay at Newcastle. He won't go to the England job. He's not interested. Chez says, "Yep, I definitely remember the sad case of Escobar 94. Was a sad, yeah, he completely believed that nobody would blame him, and yet he was one of the few who wasn't corrupted. 2 years later, we got Asprilla." Yeah. Yeah, because Asprilla played in that tournament as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Nell says, "Is that the greatest final of all time?" I would say one of them, definitely.
One of them, yeah.
I would say probably England-Germany was probably the final. 4-2, wasn't it? So, yeah. No, the Escobar murder was due to him going out 5 days after the World Cup. He went to a nightclub in the city, shot 6 times near his car when they shot a goal with each bullet. Ah, that's what it was, right, okay. I thought it was when he came off the plane, but obviously not. Absolutely disgusting. I like coffee. I don't think they were empty seats. I think they were fans. Paul says, "Yeah, always empty seats in the group stages in all the World Cup tournaments." Yeah, there is, yeah. I mean, it's not good. And Ches says, "Oh yeah, either way, it was a needless murder. Top class lad and one of the few who didn't accept gifts." Yeah, exactly. No need for it. I mean, but that's part and parcel of that part of the world, unfortunately. I mean, I'll go on to it now, Pete. I mean, Tuesday's match, how do you think it's going to go?
Pack St James's Park. The fans will be delighted to get back in. We'll get right behind the side. I think we'll definitely go with the strongest lineup that Eddie will want to go with to make sure we get to the quarterfinals. I'm looking forward to it, and I believe we can do the job. Beat Bournemouth, and get into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have to, don't we? We have to beat them. We have to get in them quarterfinals. You know, I mean, what would your scoreline be, Pete? I mean, considering when we played Bournemouth the last time, we drew 1-1 with them.
Yeah, that's what we want, a little bit of a slump, but I think we can, and I could see us beat them about 2 or 3-0.
Yeah. Guys, if you head on to nufc.com, it says no UK TV highlights on ITV4 at 10:30, but there is a lot of overseas TV. So anybody who's overseas, check nufc.com out as well. And it may be on a station near you, but it's definitely going global. Spain, Brazil, Switzerland, Norway. There you go. So it's all over the place. Israel as well. So yeah, so it's definitely plenty there on that. And the referee for Tuesday as well, it'll be Peter Banks. That's the referee.
Okay.
So Peter Banks is a referee on Tuesday. And again, I think he's done. It's his second game of the season for us. The last time he was referee for us was the 1-1 Premier League draw at Wolverhampton Wanderers. So there we go. And also the fact is, Bournemouth coming to St James's Park is yet again another reunion with Eddie Howe, Jason Tyndall, Ryan Fraser, Matt Ritchie, and the rest of Eddie Howe's coaching staff as well. So, yeah, it's Bournemouth reunion again, isn't it? And they've got injury doubts as well over David Brooke, Lloyd Kelly, Norberto Nero, while the availability of Chris Meffam and Kiefer Moore are to be confirmed after World Cup duty as well. And don't forget they were just taken over as well by the US businessman Bill Foley, who will be their chairman as well. Bournemouth got to this stage because they beat Everton 4-1 in the last round, but they're not going to score 4 past us, that's for sure. But Everton are a poor side. And I was laughing, Pete, because I saw a media report coming out of Liverpool that Everton Football Club were worried about Southgate quitting in case Lampard got the job at England.
Well, Lampard's not really done well, is he?
No. And they were panicking, thinking, we're going to lose my manager to England and we're going to have to look for a new manager. And I'm like, what? It's no loss. I mean, you notice, Pete, that West Brom are doing so well now since Bruce has gone.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yes.
But what I want to know is, where is the media? Where's the likes of Oliver Holt? Where's the likes of Luke Edwards shouting at the West Brom fans, you can't get rid of Steve Bruce. He's a family man. He's a lovely guy. He's a nice man. But as soon as we wanted rid of him, we got a load of grief for it.
Might be a nice man, but all these people say he is. But his footballing style is just tactically outdated now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just don't get why people... I mean... I think, technically, our owners at the time played a masterstroke because when they took the club over, they could have said, there's the door. But I think what they did was, and I think they've done it very carefully, I think it was very carefully calculated as well. I think what they said was, we'll just keep him in charge for the Spurs game because that'll be his 1,000th game as a manager.
Mm-hmm. Because
they probably looked at it and thought, if we sack him now, can you imagine the slating we're going to get in the press? He's had 999 games and you couldn't give him his 1,000th game. You got rid of him. So I think the owners kept him in for that reason. I may be wrong, but that's the way I look at it. I think it was just a bit of a sentimental side of it. So the club didn't get hammered for bad press. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they probably just thought, 1,000 game, but if it goes pear-shaped, time's up.
We can get shot, yeah. And he had to wait till he got to West Brom for 1,001. Paul says, did the Newcastle women win 9-0 today? I don't know. I've not seen the score.
Yes, they did. I believe they did. Merseyside Real were playing. Yeah, they won 9-0.
Yeah. I wonder if they were on strike then, Mersey Real. Alan says, best final of all time. Yeah, one of the best anyway. Wayne says, gutted. Archie's won because of our history with them, but I'm glad for Messi, who in my eyes is one of the greatest players to ever kick a football. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully he'll bow out now, I think. Foxy says, the thing is, some players had no option but to accept gifts or bullets, whether that be to the player or family members. Yeah, it's just, it's one of those countries. Hi, Tony and Pete says, Rowley. He says, I thought it was a pretty poor final until the 80th minute when it sprang into life. Can't wait for proper football to start. Well, you ain't got long to wait, Rolly. It's only 48 hours away, mate. So, not far now. I like coffee. Shearer is the greatest player to ever kick a football, in my opinion. Yeah, one of the best Shearer is, isn't he? I mean, did you hear Shearer at the end of that game when there were Enzo Fernandez got young player? And he said, he'd do all right in Newcastle, wouldn't he? He says, wonder if he fancies a game on Tuesday night against Bournemouth at St James's game in black and white stripes because he likes wearing stripes, doesn't he?
He does.
I mean, I would take him, Pete Enzo Fernandez.
Good player, great player, isn't he?
And I mean, have you noticed, Pete, throughout this World Cup on ITV, how they've been showing the adverts, Visit Saudi? I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. I've seen that as well.
Brilliant. Paul says, hoping for a strong lineup for Bournemouth, as this will be a great chance to get at least to the final with teams already out. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have another big team out on Thursday. They're going to have Man City, Liverpool, so one of them will go out. It'll either be Guardiola, or it could be the glitzy teeth of Jurgen Klopp. Wayne says 4-1 Newcastle. My prediction is on NUFC TV, lads.
Mm-hmm.
Spot on. But I suppose one thing, at least if the floodlights feel they've got Klopp to shine the light. LA Coffee 5-0. Let's Newcastle. Let's go. I mean, to be honest, I'll be happy if we win 2-0. A win's a win at the end of the day, as long as we get the job done and get through. Let's not worry about how Bournemouth play. Let's worry about how we play, and we need to play well. And if we start off well, then who knows? I mean, you may play a strong lineup. You may play Pope back in goal on Tuesday. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But it may be a thing if we're drawing the game and he's playing Karius, he might bring Karius off and bring Pope on for the penalties.
Could do.
I mean, we remember that 8 years ago in the World Cup. When Van Gaal for Holland upset the goalkeeper Jasper Cillessen, and took him off to bring Tim Krul on. But it proved a masterstroke because Krul went on and saved 3 penalties. So that's the only reason he brought Krul on, because he knew Krul's good at penalties.
Yep.
Good old Timmy Krul.
Mm-hmm.
LA Coffee says, Wayne says, LA Coffee said one of the greatest. Yeah, it was. Ches says, if Foxy, that's true. I've seen the documentary, The Two Escobars. You're 100% right that some had no choice, but more respect to Escobar since he thought he outright rejected. No disrespect to anyone who did. Yeah, absolutely. The mag gives you worldwide TV listens as well for every Toon game, says Alan. Yeah, thanks very much, Alan. I always look at NUFC TV. LA Coffee says, do you think Murphy's improved in the Rio game during the World Cup break?
A little bit, but again, we've said he's not the player that's going to win us a trophy or get us into Europe.
Yeah, exactly. LA Coffee says, if the journalists and pundits love Steve Bruce so much, they should ask Man United fans to take him as their manager. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Yeah. Oh, they wouldn't though, would they? I do think Murphy's improved, says Ches. Absolutely, whether or not he's improved enough to withstand incoming transfers remains to be seen. Personally, credit to him, but not good enough yet. I mean, he has improved in parts, but he's still he's not the greatest player, is he? He's still quite well off the pace, to be fair. Lewis says, the picture of Messi kissing the World Cup trophy, that is picture iconic already. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I like coffee talking to chairs. Alan says, evening Tony and Pete. Evening Alan. He says, Bruce had more time at his allotment now for seeding his cabbages. Yeah, absolutely. You better go to the Chelsea Flower Show, won't he? see, have you seen my cabbage?
Yeah.
They'll probably say, yeah, it's on your head. Chipmas. Well, you know, I'm a fantastic manager with well over 1,000 games under my belt and 1,000 takeaways visited. Yeah. Yeah, plenty kebabs, plenty sausage rolls from Greg's, plenty pasties. Wayne says, I think Burnley will beat Man United. Do you know what? That's what I just said to Pete earlier. I said, Vincent Kompany, he's got history against Man U, Man City, Man U. So, yeah, could do. I like, Ches says, I like coffee. Completely agree, mate. I'm a fan of his and generally hope he becomes a homemade superstar. I like coffee says, did Tony and PD see that story, that Newcastle fan in India whose husband arranged to have a Premier League trophy brought to their house to surprise him? No, I've not seen that, no.
No, neither have I.
Oh, I'll have to have a look for that one. Cheers for that. And Chipper says, just a quick one back to the World Cup. Did you see the black robe put on Messi after winning the final? Joke, if you ask me. Yeah, that's what I said to Pete earlier on. I says, what on earth was all that about? I mean, Messi didn't seem too happy about having that robe put on, did he?
No, he didn't.
It just amazed me. I was like, what's going on? Yeah, but strange World Cup it's been, and should never have been in Qatar anyway. But I hope all the journalists, the likes of Oliver Holt, they've all enjoyed themselves with a 5-star luxury, that top-class hospitality at the World Cup grounds, the hospitality at the hotels, getting waited on hand and foot, chauffeured around, that you don't hear them shouting about anything, but as soon as it comes to our owners, they're quick enough to slate us.
Mm-hmm.
Hypocrites, that's what they are. Hypocrites, the lot of them. Foxy says Ronaldo will be fuming about Messi winning. Can see him turning down the crazy Saudi deal to try and get a team that has a chance to win the Champions League. Don't see who would want to take him, to be honest. No, and he can stay well away from Newcastle because I don't want him anywhere near our football club. He's toxic. I like Coffee says it looked like the invisibility cloak from Harry Potter. Yeah, definitely. Alan says Wilson injured again. Do you think we need to sign another striker? As that's not good if we're at the chance at the top of the league. He's a good player, but as you know, he's always injured. I mean, is he injured at the moment, though? I've not really heard much about that. I mean,
yes.
Let's just see. But we do know Wilson does have injury problems. If we don't, well, we're looking at Marcus Thuram. Whether he comes in January is another matter. If he comes in, then we've got more cover in that. But I can see us signing another striker maybe in the summer next year. Yeah, Wilson definitely does have a bad injury record. Chelsea is, regardless of how many of us received this World Cup, we should be grateful to recognise Messi's achievement when the last time any of us witnessed the World Cup history hours for the last time it's happened. Yeah, fair point. Alan says it's the only award Bruce will win, trophy for the biggest cabbage at Chelsea Flower Show. Paul says Newcastle meant to have had a game on Friday also. Oh, were they? I'm not sure.
Did we not have a game behind closed doors as well? I can't remember.
Oh, yes, they did. Yes, that's right. They had one behind closed doors, yes. So maybe that's why some players weren't playing maybe on Saturday then. Shock and dive from Thuram, says Foxy. Yes, it was, wasn't it? And rightfully so, booked as well. Alan says, injured at the World Cup, it's every other month he's out. Yeah, but then he was fit for the France game, wasn't he? So, yeah. I don't know. We're not sure what's going on there. I'm sure the club will come out. I'm sure Eddie Howe will have a press conference tomorrow anyway. And we'll hear more from Eddie Howe in that press conference about players and their availability after this World Cup. Chipper says, Ronaldo's signed on at the job centre tomorrow. Yeah. Joining his mate Steven Gerrard. LA Coffee says Aston Villa now have a World Cup winning goalkeeper in their team. Yeah, I mean, he's done all right, Martinez, but when he plays for Villa, he looks a bit floppy, doesn't he?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Chipper says Alan Wilson ain't injured. His house said nothing regarding him being injured. Yeah, Chippers, I mean, I think we'll find out more tomorrow on Eddie Howe when he does a press conference. I should imagine there'll be one tomorrow anyway, so we will find out more about that. So guys, if you like what you see, please hit the like button. I've got 18 in the chat at the moment, so if everybody smashes that like button, that'll be absolutely fantastic. Helps the channel up the search settings and people can find it more easily. Also, if you're new at the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And also the bell notification tells you when I've got a live show on, which we have now, or I put a pre-recorded video on, or any upcoming shows. And I'm currently 18 subscribers away from 200. If I got that by the end of the year, 200, that would be a fantastic achievement because I've only been going for 2 months. So, yeah, thanks for subscribing, each and every one of you so far. And got some more comments here. Alan says, yeah, but my point is that it's not good being out so much. Yeah, true. And Chipper says, yeah, to be fair, my cabbage is bigger than Steve Bruce's. LA Coffee, Lorries too, World Cup finalist. England really should have been in the finals, in my opinion, if they had the right manager. Yeah, they should have been, yeah. Chipper says, "Oh, so I see he's injured when he isn't." And Alan says, "Lads, who is a midfielder from Morocco we're looking at? I think he's a midfielder. Is that Amrabat? I think, isn't it?"
Amrabat, yes. Well, I like Coffee's put it in just below. Cracking player.
Yeah, isn't he just? Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people looking at him as well. I mean, do you know what? Morocco did really well getting to the semi-finals.
They could be
I
proud
mean,
of
if
it.
you'd put it, yeah. I mean, what would the odds have been of putting that on as a bet for Morocco? I mean, I bet the
Wow.
odds were high
Probably would have
because
been.
they probably thought, Pete, looking at that group, Morocco thinking, oh well, we've got Croatia in there, we've got Belgium in there, and Canada. They probably thought we'll pick up 3 against Canada. No disrespect to Canada, by the way, but this is, I'm thinking how Morocco might have thought. Their manager might have looked at that and thought, Croatia first game, if we can get a draw, that's not a bad result. Then he's probably thought Belgium, that'll be a tough game. We may lose that game. Now he's looked at the Canada game and thought, we'll beat them, they should be no problem. And he probably behind his wildest dreams that not only did they go and get a draw against Croatia, but they beat Belgium. Then they beat Canada to finish top of that group as well. So fair play to them. I think they've done absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
Mason says the news about Southgate has pained me right off. Well, yeah, but it's good news for us, so Mason, even though I knew Eddie Howe wouldn't go anyway. Paul says, anything in with that player from Napoli? I'm not sure. Oh, I know who you're thinking of, that Kvaratskhelia, the Georgian player. Apparently a £50 million or something for him. I mean, they only paid 10 million for him, but he's got 8 goals, 8 assists a season for Napoli. I mean, he's on fire. I'm not sure. I don't think they would sell him in January, and I think if we went for him in the summer, I think his price would go up as well. But you never know. Let's watch the space. I like Coffee. I heard Morocco pick fights in the game against Croatia. I don't know. I didn't watch the game, to be fair. But I think these third place games, I mean, I don't know about you, Pete. Do you think there shouldn't be it should be once you're at the semis, just go home rather than playing
that's
this game?
That's it, really. Yeah, it should be like that.
Do you think the players really want to play in a game like that?
No, I don't think they would.
You're only getting a bronze medal for finishing third.
Well, that's it, yeah.
Paul says that's the one. Yeah. Mason says if Deschamps leaves France, I think they should go for Vieira, Henry, in my opinion. Apparently, Zinedine Zidane's taken over. That's the rumours going around, that Zinedine Zidane will be the new French manager when Deschamps goes, because his contract's run out now. Paul says they're getting Zidane. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, Zidane. But, yeah, I mean, like I say, the World Cup's come to a close now, so we're all thankful for that. We can get back to proper football, back to the stuff that we all love, back to the club that we love. We've had the England failure now. We've got that out of the way. We've got the World Cup out of the way, thank God. And, yeah, it's back to club business. I mean, do you think by the time we go into January against Arsenal, do you think we should still be in this top 4 then there, Pete?
I hope we should be. Let's hope we are.
Yeah. Well, if we beat Leicester and Leeds, then we should be, shouldn't we?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I like Coffee says, I guess a medal's a medal. I'd love to get a bronze medal at the World Cup if I was a player. I mean, yeah, true, but it's one of them. I mean, you know, you go back to the Nations League when England beat Switzerland on penalties in that third place playoff after losing the semi-final. Apparently there was no award ceremony for it either. They didn't get the medals handed to them. They were put in a bag and they were handed to them in the dressing room, said they are, dish them out. I mean, that's just poor. That's poor, isn't it? You know, how you can do that. I mean, I think we've got to go to Italy, haven't we, in this European qualifying group as well. So it's not going to be easy. So it ain't going to be easy. But, yeah, let's hope. But yeah, guys, we're coming towards the end of the show now. I mean, we've been on an hour and 15 minutes, had a great show, and spoke about what's been a great final. But more than anything, we're glad we're back to the normal stuff now, though, because back to the business end. And like I say, on Tuesday, we'll see the return of this. As is it, the Carabao Cup, which I've predicted will be in the hands of Kieran Trippier in February at Wembley, because we are going to win that. As I said that at the start of the season before the ball was kicked, I said Carabao Cup winners, finish 7th, semi-finals the FA Cup, and that will be a great season for me. So, yeah, that was my prediction. And then on Boxing Day, we see the return of the Premier League, and we play Leicester City. And let's hope our owners have a conversation with the Leicester owners about getting Maddison in January. So some bargaining to go on there, I suppose. Maybe they can take Dubravka in that opposite direction as well, because he won't be coming back to the club, that's for sure. Let's go on to some comments. Paul says Newcastle go to the new World Club Tournament to get in the new World Cup Tournament. Yeah, that's going to happen, isn't it? So glad it's over, says Alan. And when's the next show, Tony and PD? Yeah, so I'll probably do a preview tomorrow, but tomorrow night I've actually been asked to go on as a guest on AFC Bournemouth's TV channel. So I'll be on there on Craig's channel tomorrow night. I think that's about 8 o'clock I'm going on there for. So when he puts it out there, I'll share it with you anyway. But I'm going on there tomorrow night because he wants my reviews on the game on the Tuesday. So that's nice of him to invite me on there. And then Tuesday I'll have a warm-up show as well. So I'll probably have a show tomorrow, but I'll put that out there anyway. But I'll have a warm-up show on Tuesday prior to the Bournemouth game, where I'll come up and put the lineups on screen and talk about the game. So that's what's coming up. And where can people find you, and what have you got coming up?
So you can find me on my channel, PD Proudlock. Tomorrow we'll have the preview for the Bournemouth game. Of course, after the game for the Bournemouth, I will be giving me quick thoughts. I will be doing fan reactions as well. So come and have you see after the game as well. The next day will most likely be match review and player ratings shows as well. And all my social medias, like my Facebook page, my Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat, they're all PD Proudlock as well. So feel free to follow me and like on there as well.
Yeah, thanks very much, Pete. I mean, guys, I am going to try out a new show as well, so watch out for that as well. So what I'm going to do is, so if you want an alternative to either BBC or Sky Sports, like for full-time results, then I'm going to do a show where I'm going to call it full-time, and I'll read all the results out, and then I'll put all the tables up and on screen as well. So that's only going on a trial basis to see how it goes. If it doesn't go well, then it won't last. But if it does go well, then I'll do it every time. And on Thursday, I'm going to return with the Fan Zone. That's going to be back on Thursday now because the World Cup's finished. So as I say, normal service has been resumed. So if you want to come on and have your say on Thursday night, then come on, click the link, come into the studio, and I'll get you in if you come into the green room. If you don't want to come on video, you can always stop the cam and stay behind the screen if you want. Or if you prefer, you just want to be in the live chat, then just be in the live chat. That'll be absolutely fantastic. So see, you can find me on my channel, which is It's All Black and White TV. I'm at 172 subscribers at the moment. So, yeah. And if you like what you see, guys, just hit that like button. Really great of you. Thank you very much. And also, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so as well. And you can find me on Twitter at TonyTooney31. If you give me a follow, I'll also follow you back, and I'll just go into a few comments before we go. World Cup, that is not your show. World Cup. I'm not sure what you mean there, Alan. Not doing any more World Cup roundups now because that's it. It's finished now. This is the last one, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Chip has his error forms for him. Yeah, Thursday, mate. Mason says, I'm at work on Thursday, Tony. No worries, mate. No worries at all. Gary says, I've just sent you a link on Twitter, mate. Cheers, Gary. I'll have a look at that afterwards, mate. Alan says, Here we go. Roll on Premier League. Onwards and upwards. Tune. Great chat, Tony and all. Cheers, Alan. Thanks very much, mate. Always a pleasure. I like coffee. Bye, Tony PD and all. Don't forget to watch the story about that Newcastle fan in India. It's brilliant. Yeah, I will. I'll check it out. I wonder if you'll get an interview with John on Tuesday as well, because he'll be at the match with his last one.
Yes, he will do, yes. So hopefully we'll get him on.
Oh, Chipper says I'm on late Thursday, can't make it. Okay, mate, no worries about that. So, guys, yeah. But like I say, the World Cup's well and truly over now. We get back down to the normal everyday football now, and back to what I call proper football, proper stuff as well. And I think Paul as well from Toon Review will be pretty happy the World Cup's over, because he's probably sick of that song being played. You know, his song for his shop, Let's Get Down to Business. They keep nicking his song over there. So, yeah. But, yeah, no, Toon Review are a great channel. Check them out as well. As you know, Paul, Billy, Danielle, Alex are all great guys and girls on there. They're brilliant people. Check them out, and also check John out as well, John Sinclair. But, yeah, I've got one final comment coming there. Alan said, no, I'm glad it's all over. World Cup, not your show. All right, no worries, mate. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we're all pleased the World Cups are finished and gone with now. But until then, guys, yeah, so stay safe and look forward to seeing you on the next show. And it's adios from me. Au revoir.